Hi friends, in today's lecture we would study the indirect function of Microsoft Excel. So here you can see that I have a zone-wise employee sales report. In the first column I have the names of the employees. In the second column I have the sales in North Zone, then South Zone, then East Zone and then the West Zone. Now what I want to make is I want to make a list over here which will give me the option to select any of the zones north, south, east or west. And then depending on the zone selected, it will show me the corresponding sum, count and average. And over here also it should give me an option to select a name from the list, and depending on the name selected, it should give me the corresponding sum, count and average. So first let us try to achieve the same without using the indirect function, and let us see what is the lacuna in that system, and then I'll show you how you can resolve the same with the indirect function. So what we'll do, first we will create named ranges. So I select this entire table this way, and after selecting the table, I click on formulas and I select create from selection. Here I will select create names from values in the top row and in the left column. Then I would select OK. Now it has created named ranges like north, south, east, west, and same way named ranges for the rows. Let me show you the same. So suppose I go in the formula bar and I type over here west. So you can see the data for west is highlighted. Same way if I go and type north, the data for north is highlighted. Same way if I go over here and type Arjun, the data for Arjun is highlighted. Same way if I go over here and type Rohan, the data for Rohan is highlighted. So let us now come over here and try to find the sum, count and average. So first we will make a data list. So we'll come over here and then we'll click on the data column, and in data tools we'll select data validation, and over here we'll select list, and for the source we'll select north, south, east and west. Then we'll select OK. Now you can see that I have got a drop down, and from this I can select any zone like north, south, east or west. Now depending on the zone selected, it should show me the corresponding sum, count and average. So if I come over here and I type equal to sum, open parenthesis, and then I click on this cell address, that is H5, and I close parenthesis and hit enter, you can see that it is not showing me the sum for west. Let us try for count. So if I select count, again I select this cell, close parenthesis, it is not showing me the count as well. And let us try for average. So I type average and again I select west, and again I close bracket, and I'm not getting the average. So friends, this is where the indirect function comes handy. So I'll delete this and I'll come over here and I'll type equal to sum, open parenthesis. Now before I click on this cell west, I would use the indirect function. So I'll type indirect, then I would open parenthesis and click on this cell H5, close parenthesis for indirect, close parenthesis for sum, and now I'm getting the sum for west. So let us check it. I come into the west column and highlight it, and you can see the total as 9,43,542, and that's exactly what we have. Let us try for count. So I'll type equal to count, open parenthesis, and then I give indirect. Again, I give open parenthesis. Click on this cell, close parenthesis for indirect, close parenthesis for count, and I get the count. Let us check it. So for West, I select this column and you can see the count is 15 and that's what we have. Same way, let's try for average. So equal to average, open parenthesis, and again I use the indirect function, open parenthesis, click on West, close parenthesis for indirect, and close parenthesis for average, and I get the average. Let us check it, and I select the West column, and you can see it is 45950.73, and that's exactly what we have got. Now let us try for the name wise. So again, we'll create a list over here. So we click on data, we click on data tools and select data validation. From here, we select list and in the source, we highlight these names. Then we click on. Now from this name, I can select any name. Now let us try. So equal to sum. If I try like this and close bracket and say enter, I will not get it. So I have to use the indirect function. So I'll say equal to sum, open parenthesis, and I will say indirect, no open parenthesis, click on Priya, close parenthesis for indirect, close parenthesis for sum, and now we get the sum for Ria. Let us check it. I highlight this row and you can see the total is 2,16,145 and that's exactly what we have got. Same way, let us do for count. We'll type count, open parenthesis, and then we type indirect, open parenthesis, and we select Ria, and we close parenthesis for indirect, close parenthesis for count, and we get the count for Ria. You can see the count is 4. And finally, average. So we type equal to average. Again, open parenthesis. Again, we type indirect. Again, we open parenthesis. Again, we click on Ria. Close parenthesis for indirect. Close parenthesis for average. And we get the average. Let us check it. We select for Ria. And average is 45496.50. And that's exactly what we have got. So friends, hope you have understood the importance of the indirect function in Microsoft Excel. If you have liked this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And we'll see you again in the next video. Till that time, goodbye.